I'm back after a long call with my dad and a long lunch. I'm feeling great, and gosh, I had so much stuff to do here, didn't I? I had 3 holotapes I wanted to look at before I started scrapping the town, and I think I did a couple of the holotapes and then got distracted and didn't finish because there was a rad storm. But let's finish those holotapes and then I'll go back to looting the town. So let's see here. We did holo time. We did quick save. So there's one tape left to do, and that's the Hi Honey holotape. Let's play that now.
Oopsie. No, no, no. Little fingers away. There we go. Okay. Just say it. Right there. Right there. Yay. Hi, honey. Listen, I don't think that Sean and I need to tell you how great of a father you are. But we're going to anyway. Isn't that right? You are kind and loving. And funny. That's right. And patient. So patient. Patience of a saint, my mom used to say. Look, with Sean and us all being home together, it's been an amazing year. But even so, I know our best days are yet to come. There'll be changes, sure. Things we need to adjust to. You'll rejoin the civilian workforce, and I'll shake the dust off my law degree. But everything we do, no matter how hard, we do it for our family. Now, say goodbye, Sean. Bye-bye. Say bye-bye. Come on. Bye, honey. We love you.
That's kind of tragic. We got that. It's a 200-year-old message to us from the grave, basically. Well, we've now gone through all the holotapes that were on my person. I'm going to go back to scrapping. I'll fast forward you. Well, not scrapping. I'm going to go back to looting. I'll fast forward you through the looting. Then we'll do scrapping. I'll fast forward you through the scrapping. Shoot. Well, let's slow down the video here for a second just to talk about what I've just found. I'm out back behind the houses. Where am I? I'm right near the bridge. So if you see... right there, there's the bridge that leads out of Sanctuary. And over at this house, I have found a chem lab, chemistry station. I'll take that fertilizer. And normally, I can't do anything with this chemistry station to pick it up or something. Like, I can shoot it. Didn't mean to do that. I can try to lift it right now, but it's not going to do anything. So what do? Well, we can go into build mode. Oh, I'm right on the edge of my settlement boundary. And pick it up. And we can move it. And I'm going to do the same thing with this that I did with the campfire, which is I'm going to move this over by my red workbench. And I'll try to consolidate all the good stuff I find for building and crafting. And with that, let's fast forward again. Okay, so now that we've finished looting, the sanctuary still doesn't look very different at this point. I mean, it just looks it looks the same basically, because the looting is just picking off like, a little bit of like the bottle that was in the refrigerator, or the loose piece of, I don't know, like a cigar box that was sitting on a table or whatever. It didn't get rid of all the junk. So this is where phase 2 comes in, because what we're going to do in phase 2 is we're going to start scrapping tons of other things. We'll scrap all this stuff. And I don't want to bore you again, so I'm going to put everything into fast forward. Okay, so we're in build mode still, and I'm looking at the safe. It's dangerous to scrap a safe because, I mean, if you haven't opened the safe yet, I don't know what happens to the contents. Usually contents are transferred into your workshop if you scrap something that's a container. But if the safe is locked, I have no idea what's going to happen. So I'm just going to check. Is this one of the safes that this one's already been opened by me. This was not an advanced lock safe. This was like a novice lock safe, and I already cleared it out. So there's nothing in there. It's empty. So that is safe to scrap. Let's do it. I think it's possible because there's this thing called a cell reset, which is where the game will basically repopulate an area, and sometimes it'll even reset like all the containers and fill them with whatever their default loot was. And it does that, I think, every 3 days in a normal game. It does it every 30 game days in a survival mode game. And so if I were patient and wanted to wait 30 game days from now, that safe could conceivably refill with stuff, maybe. But I'm not going to wait. I want it scrapped. I want it gone. I had managed to pick it and open it. I got everything I wanted out of it. So I'm going to leave it all scrapped and used up. All right, let's keep going. So I wanted to slow down from the fast forwarding through scrapping everything for a minute, just to show you something that I'm going to try and take care of in a little bit. So here it is. There's a limitation of the game engine, and that limitation, you can see it here. There's grass. You can see outside the window, there's grass all over the ground that they've placed down, or whatever that is. And you can see it coming through the floor here. And if you come over here, you can see a bush coming through the wall as well. So, I mean, I think that the word for that is clipping, I think. These items have clipped into another item or haven't clipped properly. I don't know what the right phrasing there is, but this is a problem not just for the developers as they built things like this, and they didn't raise the flooring up high enough to get over that, and they didn't put anything in the engine that would let us cut off grass. So you end up with ridiculous things like this. You're showing a home, and somehow things are going through walls and going through floors. How do you fix it? Well, you could try to overhaul the engine, but we don't have the ability really to do that. You could go in one of those scrapping mods that I have mentioned that will let you scrap just anything you want. But then, as I mentioned, you would break the pre-combine and the pre-made layer of earth that's here. You would break it, and then the engine would render a little more slowly. So it's an option, but not one I want to explore. But there is something that I have, a mod that will turn the big leafy grasses invisible. And it doesn't break anything. It doesn't break pre-combines. It doesn't do anything bad. It'll turn this big bush. The bush will still be there, but the bush will be completely clear. And what's amazing about this one is that this mod will actually speed up your game a little bit. The rendering engine will not bother to render something if it's completely invisible. So it won't spend any time on it, and it'll get you back a frame or two. So my intention is to get that mod and install it just to get rid of this issue with plants like clipping through the houses and so on, because I'm going to put down some homes too, and I would really like it if I could put those homes down at like a reasonable height. If I have to put all my homes down like super raised up in the air to avoid like look at this plant here. This plant's going way up into the air. So if I wanted to build something right here, I'd have to have it above the plant level, and I'd have to have like a giant staircase up just to reach whatever I've built. So of course I'd rather just build right here on this already level area, but you know, if I wanted to build anywhere else, if I wanted to build some small like little like side home right here, I'd have to deal with all these bushes. And much better is going to be, oh no, well there's exactly what I was talking about. There actually is a home, or the start of a home, and you know, if I built it right now, the bushes would grow right through it. But I'm not going to build that right now. I'll install that mod, and then we'll go from there. In fact, maybe I should do it right now while I'm talking about it, so you guys can see what I'm talking about. You know what? Let's do that. Let me let me fire up the mod engine. We'll get the mod installed to make these ridiculous bushes go away. No ugly plants. Invisible vines, shrubs, brambles, decals, grasses, etc. Okay. Now that's kind of sad. I don't want to lose decals. Decals are things like when you shoot your gun at something, a little like bullet wound will appear. If it's going to make those go away, that makes me a little sad. Maybe there's some config to this, but I don't know. We'll find out. All right, so there was a a big mess of bushes right in front of us. Let's see if that big mess of bushes is gone when this loads up. Cleared. All right, so it obviously didn't get rid of everything. There's still a lot of dead grass all over the place. But we just got rid of the gigantic tall shrubs. And that's pretty great. I'll take that. And that should make building things easier. Like if you remember, we were standing right here. There's a gigantic bush here. And I was like, you'd have to build really high up just to get over that bush, since it's going to push through whatever flooring you put down. I don't have to worry about building high up at all now. Some people might say, well, the game looks a lot worse now because you don't have a lot of like plant life. But you can see there's still some plant life, and I don't mind this like lower amount of plant life. It's perfectly fine with me. In fact, I gotta admit, I kind of prefer it because it's easier to see everything, and things look cleared out a little bit. Maybe like a poor man's version of this place is maintained. Somebody came through with a lawnmower. Who knows? All right, well, at this point, let me go back to scrapping things, and I'll fast forward you through it, and we'll carry on in a minute. Let's sleep. Oh, let's eat first. Hey, this might be something worth mentioning. So, when you go to sleep at night, you want to try and eat and drink before you go to sleep so that you're completely satisfied. You can see down in the lower, what is that? The lower right of my screen by my action point bar, there's a little bit of red in the action point bar. And that's because of the two icons you see underneath the action point bar, the fork and spoon or fork and knife, and then there's a little water droplet. The water droplet means I need to drink. The fork and spoon means I need to eat. And so if I do that, you'll see the red bar goes away a little bit. And you want to eat and drink because, let me show you my stats right now. Okay, hungry. Charisma -1, endurance -2. I mentioned back in character creation that endurance matters for things like, are you going to get sick? And one of the times that the game is going to determine whether you are ill is when you sleep. So when you wake up in the morning, it may give you a message that says you've become sick or you caught an illness or something like that. So if you can eat before you go to sleep to make sure that you're fully satisfied, that your body's good and you have no penalties, you want to do that before you go to sleep. So, do I have any cooked food left though? I've been eating my cooked food like crazy. I picked up a ton of junk. I have raw radroach meat, but it gives off radiation. I have a Salisbury steak, but that also gives off radiation. That's a prepackaged steak from I think before the bombs fell. I have wild mute fruit, gives off radiation, but it's only 2 units. It's very minor. I wonder if I could eat that and satisfy myself. Let's just see. Better, but still peckish. That still didn't do it. Mm, 5 units of rads with that. 6 units of rads with that. Two units of rads with canned dog food. I'll eat dog food. Let's do it. Properly fed. Okay. So something I had said earlier was if you looked at my hit point bar, there was a little bit of red in it to indicate that I was getting some radiation damage. And at the time that I mentioned it, I don't think that you could even see the red bar when you guys watch it on YouTube, because YouTube will compress the video and it'll blur together a little bit of that bar. But that red is probably big enough now that you guys are seeing it on your screen, and eventually I'm going to have to deal with that radiation. It's going to get bigger and bigger and bigger. The bigger it gets, the fewer hit points I can have. But for now, we'll go with it. I think you need to get 8 hours of sleep in order to get the well-rested bonus, which is what I want right now. I'm going to do some cooking. I want to get extra XP for what I'm about to do. But I took 9 hours of sleep right there, even though I didn't need 9 hours, just because I wanted to have myself waking up around 7 a.m. so I could see a sort of a brighter, sunnier day. Kind of sucks waking up in the middle of darkness. Alright, all I have is grilled radroach, but we'll take it. There's one thing I can eat that is not radiated. Alright, so can't see it right now because of the haze of the morning. I don't know, is that fog? It almost looks like dust right now. It's very yellowish, but I have cleared this place out quite a bit, and I'm still not ready to show it. We're going to fast forward through some more stuff, but basically what I'm doing is I go into each house, I scrap anything that I don't want to keep. I then take things that I do want to keep, like that table and the TV and the chair and the stool and all this stuff. I just put them outside the house. So the house inside should be completely gutted at this point. And once the house is gutted and I moved everything out of the house, I'm going to do that to every single house here and get all the stuff that I want to have, that I want to keep, will stay outside of the houses. And then I end up with, like, you know, what is this, like a dozen empty houses? And then I can start rebuilding and figuring out, you know, where do I want tables, where do I want chairs and stuff like that. I also found a couple dog houses. I think I'm going to find a third before I'm done here. So right now we'll go over, I think that there's, like, let's start scrapping again. Yeah, I still hadn't finished all the junk on the ground. I think we can scrap this entire home. And this mailbox. And what do we have in back here? Oh, it's a third doghouse. Oh, that might mean there's actually 4, because I did not realize this one was here. So I might actually be able to find a 4th doghouse. Maybe. Maybe. A lot of doghouses. That's important because we're about to get a dog. So, we'll take the houses. We'll take the doghouses. Something that I did not realize the first time I came through here and was clearing out and scrapping everything, there's actually there's a little bit of environmental storytelling. Bethesda's pretty good at environmental storytelling in Fallout 4. And there was a little sad moment that I completely missed it the first, maybe even the second time I played through this game. But the third time I played through, I cleared out this area, and then I just sort of stood here for a second. And I just looked at the ground and I realized, like, oh. Okay. So there's a story there, but we don't know what it is. As far as I know, if you have a shovel, it doesn't help you. You can't do anything there. So That's just a story that's there, and it's just the way it is. So I have 2 usable tables. These picnic tables, I cannot pick that one up. If I touch that one, it will no longer be on a slant. It'll straighten itself out, and it won't sit nicely in the ground. So I'm going to leave that alone. This one is having that exact problem, right? Like it's straightened itself out, and now it looks like it's floating in the air. But the nice thing about these 2 tables is that they're usable. There is a bench that you can find. Let me see if I can show it to you guys. Furniture. Chairs. There, that bench. You can combine this bench right here and like that. And when you get settlers in your camp, they'll actually come and sit at the table, and they'll sit and eat at these old wooden tables if you keep them. But you can't do that with this table because it's got planks in the way. There's no way to fix it. So this table's got to go. All right, team. Well, here we are. This is the exit to Sanctuary, and if we turn around from here and look, I am going to keep that trash can there. I don't know why, but I always keep it. But if we look, I've destroyed the house that was there. I've taken everything that was inside that house and brought it outside, or gutted it. You know, those rad roaches, we'll get to them in a little bit. I emptied this house out, took all the furniture out. I think I've cleared out the yards back behind. Yeah, that's where the chem lab was. I think I've cleared out this backyard too. Yep. And I gutted this house. I've gutted all the houses. As far as I know, pretty much everything's gone. There is a little section of trees here that you can't scrap, which is kind of a bummer. But that's okay. Oh, I could scrap that though. We did it. We did it. Let's save. Okay. So this is what it looks like once you scrap everything that you can. Well, not everything you can. I've obviously left, like, you know, some chairs and other stuff that I salvaged from inside the homes. But, you know, other than the things I'm saving to actually use, this is it now, and it's way more open. It's just wide and clear. There's lots of space. We've opened it up, and now we have all the resources possible. If we go look in our workbench, boy, should we have a lot of loot. Let's take a look. Put all that stuff in. So this is all the loot that we've got after we scrapped everything, basically. And some of this is just like, you know, okay, so we found a tea kettle, no big deal. But some of the stuff like wood, look at how much wood we found. I scrapped every tree that I could. Scrapped a bunch of the furniture, not all of it, obviously. Some's still sitting out, but I scrapped a lot of it. Got a lot of wood. I think steel. We might also have a lot of steel. Where is that? Let's see here. Yeah, I got 1,000 units of steel. I don't know if I have a lot of concrete yet. Let's see. 100 units of concrete. I mean, it's a start. 43 units of ceramic. That's nice. I think ceramic is used for guns, so that's good. Turrets that I'm going to work on. Cloth, 66 units. I can make some beds. So I scrapped everything I could scrap. And now that we've done that, what are we going to do next? Okay. Here's what we're going to do to wrap up the video. I'm going to stay in Sanctuary and I'm going to build. But before I build, let's go get a dog. We need a dog for this dog house. So let's go get a dog. Once we have a dog, we can call it a video. We'll call it a day. And the next video can pick up from there. So where do we go to get a dog? Well, I'll tell you. So Codsworth said head over the bridge. And I suppose I should get wary now. Like, we're going places I haven't been before. I should be careful. The whole challenge of this game is don't die. So Here's a dead dude. I'll take your stuff. Cool. I'll take food. Take a tire iron. What's that green thing? Ooh. Bolt action rifle. That might be interesting. Bless you. Oh, mute fruit. Okay. I'm getting food. I'm getting food. Alright. So I don't want to get too far off target, though. I shouldn't be over here. What I should be doing is heading to the red rocket. Codsworth said, head to the red rocket, head past the red rocket, and go into Concord. And I'm absolutely not going to go into Concord. And then let's get in here. Hi, doggo.
Hey, boy. What are you doing out here all by yourself? You lose your owner, buddy? Okay, then. Let's stick together.
Face your dog and press E to issue commands. Talk.
How you doing, buddy? Hey, boy. You know any tricks?
Good. You're doing the trick to my back. With your back to me. Take that stim pack. Thanks, buddy. Dog found something.
How you doing, buddy? Never mind, boy.
Okay. Very cool. Oh! That's a problem. Ooh, they're ganging up on my dog. Okay. Alright, well, so first things first, let's rush in and turn off that radio because I don't want to get in trouble with YouTube. There we go. Alright, now, are there any other bad guys? Alright, well, no other bad guys are coming at us. So, okay. Alright. So I said we would get the dog, and then we would call it quits for the video. I'm going to do one quick cleanup thing before I go. And that is, I think, oh, I don't have control of this settlement yet. Can I get control of this settlement? If I come over here, can I touch this and get control? I can. Okay, I don't want to scrap this whole settlement and do all the junk yet, but I do want to get rid of these molehills. They call them ambushes. If I can get rid of them. We'll scrap everything else later. If these moles stick around, I have a way to get rid of them too. We'll see. Okay, so when we come back to this settlement, we'll work on it and we'll see. Try to fix this one up too. And so I'll do a whole video that's just Red Rocket. But for now, at least we got it. We claimed it and we've got it started. And now I'm going to go back to Sanctuary with my doggo, and we're going to continue working on Sanctuary, and then we'll come back to Red Rocket later. All right. Great. Oh, I hear him coming. Good dog. Okay. All right. Well, let's stop here. We did it. Thanks for watching.